Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the HamCorp training manual. In this episode, we will craft an ME controller from applied energistics and set up a very simple storage system for demonstration. Time to get started doing AE2. It's about time. Applied energistics is so good. So to get started, there is actually a quest that teaches you kind of the basics. Whoa. That was incredibly rude. Anyway, so there is a quest that tells you about the basics of AE2, short guide, basic AE2 system. I think this is pretty good. This is more or less what I'm trying to do today, except I'm also going to have a ME controller set up, and also I'm going to do some crafting for the future, like P2P tunnels and stuff, and I'll talk about all of that when I actually get to it. But for right now, I am making charged Certus quartz dust, charged Certus quartz crystals, and Fluix crystals. Definitely do these in a large chemical reactor because you can overclock them. This is a 30-second recipe in an LV chemical reactor, and this one is 45 seconds with if you don't distill the water, which I'm not going to bother with. But that's really slow, and it can cost quite a bit of energy if you overclock it with single block machines. So definitely use the large chemical reactors for these. So currently I'm just going through these quests. I'm just going to quest my way to the short guide, and then I will cast my judgment upon this quest. But looking at it, I mean, it's basically what I want to do. Yeah, so I got a bunch of crafting to do, some crystals, a lot of different components, energy acceptor, ME drive, also the 4K storage components and universal storage housings. I got a lot of crafting to do. So I'm currently making these quartz fibers. Don't do the nether quartz method. It's 8-to-1. That's very expensive. Quartzite is also 4-to-1. Certus quartz is 2-to-1 and charged Certus quartz is 1-to-1, but I don't know if the charged Certus quartz is really worth it because you have to do so much processing to get a charged Certus quartz rod. Like you have to make these charged crystals, which you get from reacting the dust, and then the dust you get from another reaction. Like, that's a lot of effort and energy to save 1 quartz. So I think I'd rather just use 2 Certus quartz rods, which is 1-to-1 with the Certus quartz gems, and just make my quartz fibers that way. Currently waiting at the lathe. This is going to take like 15 minutes to process all this, so I'm going to work on something else at the same time. I'm actually out of circuits. I should make some circuits while this goes. Almost done. Now I'm going to convert most of these into ME glass cables, then maybe half of those into ME covered cables. So I am going to need more quartz fiber at some point. Cool, and now I'm going to convert maybe half of these. Oh, I can only do 23. That's fine. I'll just convert 23 of these into covered cables. I'm not converting all of them because they are used in some crafting recipes. Cool, there's the covered cables, and finally for the quest, a bunch of cable anchors. Okay, it would be nice to have some smart cables, mostly for demonstration, but they are really expensive. It's 1 MV circuit for 4 cables. And 4 cables is, 4 blocks. That's one circuit for 4 blocks, and we're gonna have this like sprawling throughout the base. So I would love to have a billion extra circuits to just throw at this, but it's just way too expensive right now. So I think I'm gonna skip those for now. Got the last of my circuits, and now I can finally finish crafting everything here. I'm definitely gonna take these platinum ingots, especially because I don't even have a basic plat line set up. And here, I think I'm gonna take the pattern terminal just to save me time from that, so that I don't have to craft it. So we also have a pattern terminal. And that finishes a quest, great. Guess I'll take the loot bag. Oh, nice, dense cables. Very nice. Okay, now, I could set it up, but I don't have any drives, so we'd have a system that consumes energy, but doesn't do anything, because there's no storage. So let me make some storage really quick. Got all my stuff ready, so let's make these storage components. 16 1Ks, all of which are used to make 4 4Ks. Oh, I have an extra storage component from one of the quest rewards. So now we can make the 1K and 4K storage cells. Here's the 1K. You can recycle these to upgrade them. As long as they're empty, if you just hold shift and right click, it separates it back into the housing and the storage component. And I don't really want the 1K right now, so just gonna make it a 4K. You know, while I have this 1K, I may as well make a storage cell. And now we have some storage, some extra housings. So if you do follow this quest, the short guide, it makes this ME toggle bus, which allows you to, it basically sets it up so that it's only active when you stand on the pressure plate. So it's not constantly using energy. That would be good. That's probably a smart thing to do, at least for right now. But I don't think that's going to be useful for that long, because soon I'm going to have it passively doing things around the base for me, and I don't want to just have to stand on a pressure plate the whole time. So I'm just going to forego the pressure plate and the toggle bus. I should probably also make the network tool, network visualization tool, and the memory card. But I guess for now, let's just see what I can do without these. I think I'm going to revamp this little area and turn this into my little applied energistics control room. And I guess I'll move the NASA workbench to the launch pad. That makes sense. You know, I'm just realizing this wooden fluid pipe has been here since like since like episode 4 or something. Pretty sure this connects to the the windmill. I still have the windmill out here, don't I? Yeah. I completely forgot about this thing. Why is the piece missing? I should probably get rid of this. I mean, I'm literally never going to use it again. It's just sitting here and it doesn't match the rest of the base. Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of this. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to dig up this wooden fluid pipe because it's just transporting water from that railcraft tank. That thing is just entirely outpaced. You don't, like, there's no reason to have that at all anymore. I can just make a reservoir and have infinite water much faster. Where does this go? I think it goes to the kitchen. I don't give a fuck about that. All right, I'm going to dig up all of this. I'm also going to destroy the windmill. Part of me is sad to see these things go, but only a part of me. Cool, little workspace. This is acceptable. This is not, but I'm gonna make a little tunnel here. I said this forever ago, if you remember. I still haven't done it. There's a lot of things I haven't done. But anyway, let's make a quick little AE2 system. So the heart of AE2 is this ME controller. This needs power. You can power it directly by attaching a turbine to one of the faces, but I don't recommend doing that because that limits how many machines you can control with the ME controller. Each face of this ME controller has 32 channels, and each channel allows you to control one applied energistics machine. I'm calling them machines, but they're not really machines. They're just like little bits and bobs. So if you attach the turbine directly to a face, then you're sacrificing 32 potential machines. What you can do instead is use a cable. These basic covered cables can hold up to 8 channels. So we're not utilizing the full capacity of this face. But for this little demonstration, that doesn't matter. I'm going to add an energy acceptor and then connect the gas turbine to the energy acceptor. This can be anywhere on your network. And ideally, it's in your power building so that it's the first thing to be powered. Because if your energy acceptor goes down, then your applied energistics controller goes down and then everything else goes down. And that can be pretty problematic if your applied energistics system is what is controlling your fuel production and consumption. You don't want to end up in a situation where you're not able to power applied energistics because applied energistics is not able to create power. So have an energy acceptor directly next to where you consume power. So let me chuck some benzene in here. This has now come online. I should have done this before. I do need a network tool to see how much power is consumed here. We can do that after. But it does constantly use power. As you can see, I'm not even doing anything. It's just awake. That's it. And that costs power. And the more components you add to the system, the more power it uses. So one thing you can add, or two things, are ME drives and a crafting terminal. The crafting terminal lets you see everything that's stored in your network. And you can sort it by a bunch of different things. I personally like to see number of items. But this ME drive doesn't have any drives in it, so there's obviously nothing in the system. So let's chuck some drives in. There's nothing on the drives, so you would still see nothing. But now we can put things into storage. So let me grab some, sure, whatever, spessartine dust. And now this goes in. It is now in one of these drives. Which one? This one. This one has our spessartine dust. Each of these drives has a maximum capacity as well as a maximum number of different item types it can have. So each drive can hold up to 63 different item types and a certain amount of data, I guess. I'm not sure how the item count corresponds to the number of bytes, but yeah, if you hit that cap of 4,000, you won't be able to add any more. So yeah, so this I can just take out, put in whatever, craft with it if I want. Very basic storage system, much faster than logistics pipes because I don't have to wait for the items to transport. It's basically instant. So that is a very, very simple storage system with applied energistics. So far, we've used almost 1 bucket of benzene, and I haven't done anything, basically. So this is quite expensive energy-wise. It's just going to be a constant draw on our energy, and that's something you need to think about before setting up or before expanding your applied energistics system. With the network tool, you can see how much power you're using. And what I like to do is I like to set up my whole thing in a building or whatever, and before I connect everything, I will see the power use before and after, and then compare that with my power generation and see if I can actually afford to connect a building. So let me quickly make this network tool. You know, I'm actually going to make a bunch of things. I'm going to make the network tool, I'm going to make the network visualization tool, and I'm going to make the memory card. Actually, I'm going to make the advanced memory card. So more crafting to do. I'm going to shut this thing off so it doesn't burn my benzene for no reason. I'll be back with these things, and then I'll show you what I like to do with the P2P buses, because this system as it is right now is not everything. I actually needed 3 network tools. Here's 1, 2, 3. A network visualization tool, a memory card, and the advanced memory card. Now I can show you the energy consumption here. The network tool, if you right click, I think, any part of your system, it will show you energy usage, energy generation, items, fluids, essences, or essentia, I guess, and the max power. And a bunch of different power units. Most of these are not relevant. So energy generation here basically adds up all of the energy from any sources that are connected to acceptors or ME controllers. So we're making almost 128 EU per tick, or we were until just now. Probably because the system is full of energy, so it doesn't need that much. But yeah, but that's good because that's what the MV gas turbine is supposed to make. And the energy usage for literally doing nothing is 50 EU per tick. And I don't know if you add items whether or not it goes up. Let's find out. Yep. Oh no, okay, so I think putting things in and taking things out will increase the energy usage, but it seems like it's relatively stable when you're not inputting or outputting items. 50.3, and if I take stuff out and check again, it spikes to 67-ish, and then it goes back down. So sometimes when you're basically at capacity of your energy generation and usage, adding and removing things from your applied energistics system will shut it down, because you temporarily spike over what you can handle. So the idle state is fine. It gives you an idea of how much energy you're using, but you do need to leave a little bit of buffer space for taking things out and putting things in. So I'm going to make a plan for what I want to do immediately. I think I would like to start automating things in this place. I've named it what did I call it? Fucking auto crafting unit. I would like to hook these up to applied energistics and start teaching these machines some recipes, but I want to think up a plan before I do that, because I'm not just going to connect everything directly to this ME controller, because we will run out of channels really fast. I mean, 32 per side seems like a lot, but it's really not. Of course, you can extend this by adding more ME controllers, but the energy use, even when it's idle, goes up quite a bit, so I don't want to add ME controllers unless I really need to. And so to solve both the issues of energy consumption and channel consumption, I want to think up a plan. And actually, I've already planned for it a little bit by making these P2P tunnels. These are going to be relevant really soon, but we do need a second ME controller. Oh, okay, cool. There's a quest for a short guide. Yeah, read this. Some homework for you. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will set up point-to-point or P2P buses for a slightly more advanced AE2 setup. We will also move the controllers, henceforth called the brain, to a more permanent location. HamCorp would like to mention that the CEO will be going on a paid vacation for about 2 weeks, during which new videos will not be produced. Some videos will be pre-recorded and published during that time, hopefully enough to fill the gap. See you next time.